Hey Huddles, I trust you're doing well at this time. It's been a while since we've done one of these video encouragements for Huddles. So I just wanted to jump on here today to give you guys some thoughts to think about as we continue pressing into our Huddles in this season. I hope you've made some time as well over the last couple of months to have a few different catch-ups with your Huddle on a semi-regular basis would be awesome. I know my Huddle, we do it fortnightly, and we sort of just lock that in on a Friday night, and it's awesome. We love it. The way we do it is we have someone who is assigned for each week to facilitate what we do. And so we do different things, like we might talk about a topic one week and have a bit of a discussion. We might spend some weeks just praying for each other weeks having a bit of a heart check-in. How's our relationship with Jesus going? Other times it's just a catch-up, seeing like what's going on in life at the moment. Honestly, in lockdown now, not a whole lot, but there's some ideas of things you can be doing in your huddles. So I would encourage you, if you haven't had a time to catch up recently, why not, after you watch this video, get on your phone, give someone a phone call, give them a message, and organize sometime this week to catch up as a huddle. But what I wanted to quickly chat about today was something which I was really impacted by a couple of years ago in terms of thinking about discipleship. And so a couple of years ago, I read a book called The Trellis and the Vine, and it's by Tony Payne and Colin Marshall. It was a brilliant book about discipleship and the relationship between the trellis and the vine, which I'll just define in a minute. See, at the front of my house, I have a jasmine bush. Now, this jasmine bush started off pretty small, and now it's growing all up the wall and everything. And so what you do is you put a trellis on the wall, as you probably know, and that basically provides a support structure for this trellis, for the vine to grow on, so that it can be maintained and look good and all that kind of thing. So a trellis really is there as an assistance and as a support to the growth of the jasmine bush or whatever vine you've got there. And so I want us to think about huddles in a similar way. Huddles are the trellis, and our spiritual life is the vine. And so when we think of it, huddles are there as a support support structure for the spiritual development of our own life in Christ. Because we've always said huddles are a means to an end. They're not the end in and of itself. They are there to help support us in our growth as we pursue Jesus together. But one of the things we have to do as well is maintain the vine, is actually attend to the vine, make sure the vine is well watered, just like you would in a jasmine bush, right? You have to water it, have to fertilize it, have to prune it, just so it maintains its health and it looks good. And in a similar way, we have to do that with our own lives. We have to maintain it, attend to it, look after our spiritual lives. And so this looks like, on a practical level, spending time in the Word, spending time in prayer. And they're the two main means by which we are formed into the likeness of Jesus. But it's also with the grace practices we've talked about. And you can go back and look through our previous sermon series if you aren't familiar with what they are. But what we also need is support systems in place, support structures. They're gonna aid this. Now, they're not a replacement for time in the Word or time in prayer and being with Jesus ourselves, but they are really there to support and encourage us in that journey. They're there to strengthen and provide support for the vine, as it were. And so this is where huddles come in. Huddles provide a place to support each other as we give that attention to the vine personally. They help spur us on. They give us additional ideas of what we can be doing to promote spiritual growth in our own lives. And they just really help position us to be a thriving and flourishing vine as we abide in Jesus. And so with this short thought today, I want to end on this note. What specific attention are you giving to your spiritual vine to promote growth? So how are you investing time in the Word, in prayer, and in the grace practices so as to position yourself to grow best? And secondly, how can you shape your huddle around this goal of formation? See, many of you are probably new groups and have been meeting for about 4 months now, because we started in May. And so maybe a bunch of this time has just been spent getting to know one another, like building relationship with each other. And that's awesome, and we want you to do that. But now, it's been 4 months, and so let's have a think about what can we do to take this to the next level? What can we do to take it a little bit deeper and support one another in our personal discipleship and growth? And so the question I have for you is, how can you check in on each other in your next huddle meeting to encourage one another to go deeper in God? And especially as we attend to that personal vine work. So that's what I want to leave with you today. And so I hope that encourages you and gives you something to think about as we keep pursuing huddles and the importance of it, but realizing that it is a support network to our own spiritual development in Jesus. So bless you. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and we'll talk at a later date.